Hello everyone, welcome back to Help Code eLearning. My name is Prashanja and you can see this problem in front of you. Here what we have to do, we have to count the maximum consecutive ones. Okay. So this value we have to count and maximum consecutive ones means like 2, then the count of 1 is 3, then the count of 1 is a 4. So the maximum value is a 4, so we will receive the output that is a 4. Okay. So I'm just going to start, I'll write down or I'll start writing the code in front of you. Okay. So whatever will happen here. Okay, let's think about it and do it. So I have to I have to count the maximum consecutive ones. So obviously I have to perform the traversing, and traversing required the for loop. So you know that I'm going to use the for I in my list. Okay, this is what I have to use the for loop. And that is a perfect thing. Then after that, if what I have to do exactly, I have to do a count also. So outside a loop, before continuing the loop, I will just take the one variable that is a count variable, and I will take the value that is a count equal to 0. So this time what I'll do exactly, if I equal to 1, I'm just going to compare with the 1. Why? Because the consecutively, if you check here, so 1 1, so only the one is present and we have to count the 1. Okay, no, there is no other numbers, there is no other kind of different digits, so only 0 and 1 is there. 0 is showing the breakpoint, means the consecutive ones is going to be end when you receive the 0, and again you have to start the count from initially, from start fresh, you can say that. Okay, so here, I equal to 1, okay, if it is true, so it will come inside and the count plus equal to 1. This is perfect, okay. In the else block, if you will say, sir, why we required the else block? We required the else block because when you get the 0, see, the by default, the value of I is a 0, okay, by default, the value of I is a 0. It will visit in the my list at index number 0, 1 at index number 1 is 1. So similarly, when your I will visit at index number 2 and when it receives the 0 and 0 equal to 1, so condition will false and it will come to this block. Immediately what I do exactly, I will take another list, and you will be surprised that, sir, why you're taking another list. Okay, I'm just taking because I have to store the consecutive, count of the ones. Okay, so how many time I got the count, because there are, whenever I will receive the 0, I will update this count value on my new list. Okay, I will just add this value, or I will just update in the sense I will just append the value. Okay, that is what I mean to say. Okay, so new list dot append and count. I'm just going to append here, and again I will just make the counter variable equal to 0. Okay, oh, this is not perfect. Okay. So what I'll do exactly, count equal to 0. Again, you will say, sir, why we are making this count equal to 0? So try to understand, we are, after appending this count value on the new list. So first count you will receive, that is a 2. So it will append, like, what value will be append here? 2. And then it will get the 0. So why I'm making this count as a 0? So that in the next time when again it will start getting a 1. So the fresh count should start. Okay, the fresh, we can say that the count variable should start fresh. Okay, because every time we have to count once, and that new count value we have to store. Okay, so this is what we are going to do exactly. And if I do these things, let me check the output. Okay, suppose if I just want to print the new list, and new list I'm going to print here. So see, there are different ways to make the logic. I'm just making this way. I'm getting a 2 or 3. 2 or 3 means exact consecutive ones is basically first consecutive ones we are getting, that is a 2. After that breakpoint, we receive the 3. But why we have not got the value that is a 4? So the reason is very simple. I'll tell you the reason why we have not received the value that is a 4. Because, when after the after the end of this 4 consecutive ones, it directly come outside. Okay, and when it come directly outside, where we are appending the value, we are not appending, we are appending in the else block, and it comes to the else block when it receives the 0. So that is means when it is, your if condition will be false, then your interpreter, your Python virtual machine, your interpreter will come to the else block. So when it receive the non ones value, or the 0 value, we can say that, so then it is updating. But what does it mean that after completing these consecutive ones, at the end of the list, there is no 0 value. So definitely it will not come to the else block and it will go outside directly. So what I have to do, I have to copy these things, and then it is going to complete. When it will complete this and it will come outside of the for loop, what I want exactly, it should append this. And this time if you print here, so what you're getting a value that is a 2, 3, and 4. And in the list, you know that you can do a sorting and you can retrieve the value. And after sorting, right now it is already sorted, so I just use the -1 negative indexing. Otherwise, you can do a first of all sort and then you can retrieve the value. That is what we are getting. We are getting the value that is a 4. So we can use this. We can do this program using a nested for loop also, and using a one loop also we are doing. So obviously in nested for loop the time complexity will increase, but in this one loop the time complexity will not increase. So that is what we are doing and that is what we are following here. Okay, so I hope that you guys have understood these things and this particular logic. This is dynamically things. Many people will have a many question in this mind. Sir, we can solve this way, or this kind of question will be there. See, we this is a very simple playlist. This is very simple series for building the logic. Anyway, whatever the way you're using and you're building your logic, that is very important. Okay, right now we are not focusing on the time complexity. We are not focusing on anything else. We are just focusing on this part. So understand these things and go ahead. Okay. So definitely this is the particular example we have done. We'll see you